Good morning, I'm Kristen Folletti and welcome to News Desk on SiliconANGLE TV for Monday, April 22nd, 2013. Here's your SiliconANGLE Daily Roundup. Facebook's new Android launcher app is off to a modest start. Facebook Home has been available on the Google Play App Store for a little over a week and has just passed the 500,000 download mark. Facebook launched a mobile and television advertising campaign to coincide with the app's release. To put those numbers in perspective, when Instagram launched its Android app with no accompanying ad blitz, it achieved over 1 million downloads in the first 24 hours and over 5 million downloads in the first week. In addition to the less than stellar download numbers, Facebook Home is also getting poor user reviews. Its average rating is 2.2, and over half of the users who rated the app gave it a single star. It's too early to write off the social media company's first attempt at a more immersive Facebook experience. Home is currently only compatible with a small number of the latest Android phones. Analysts expect the download numbers to rise dramatically if it's made to work with older model phones. Perhaps Facebook will take off the early user feedback and further refine the launcher, which is off to a meager start. Next week, Comedy Central will become the first television network to embrace Twitter's TV takeover. During a 5-day interactive comedy festival, Comedy Central will post video snippets of live routines on TV using the hashtag ComedyFest, effectively allowing users to use Twitter as a second screen while watching live television. Part of the festival will include a Vine dining party, where the host will use Twitter's latest acquisition, Vine, to tell stories in 6-second bits. For Comedy Central, this partnership with Twitter is all part of a strategy to become an entertainment company that's less reliant on nightly viewers. As early as next month, the network intends to introduce a free app called CC Stand-Up to move more of their online content. As for Twitter, this partnership is more of a marketing decision to bring in more users and push the brand as the next generation of advertisement in television. Silicon Valley tech companies are working behind the scenes to kill California's new internet privacy bill. Google, Facebook, and Microsoft are just a few of the industry giants who want the bill dropped. The Right to Know Act would require companies to show customers the personal data they've collected and who that data is being shared with. If passed, it would be the first of its kind in the nation. The tech industry protests haven't fallen on deaf ears. The chairman of the Assembly Judiciary Committee, where the bill is being considered, delayed the vote by a month to ensure that the language is clear and not too broad. In the meantime, Silicon Valley's lobbying efforts to shut down the bill will continue. Nintendo is finally taking Mario down the digital pipeline as they embrace digital distribution as a viable way to sell games to their loyal fan base. They still have some ground to cover, with digital sales numbers only recently topping the 10% mark, but representatives are certain the trend will only move up. Nintendo's newest console, the Wii U, has yet to gain significant traction in the market, but for now, Nintendo is focused on their 3DS, with the new entries in the popular Yoshi's Island, Mario Party, and Legend of Zelda franchises all coming soon to their eShop. Their devotion to make games first and add-ons second is definitely a contributing factor to the sluggish rise in console sales. But with the upcoming PlayStation 4 and new Xbox, it'll be interesting to see how Nintendo can continue to compete in the video game hardware space. In the 2 months since Andrew Mason was let go from the CEO position at Groupon, their stock has risen 40.4%. This brings their stock to around $6 per share, a big increase compared to the roughly $4 per share back on February 28th, though a long way from where Groupon would like to be. Mason was let go after the online deal company suffered a profit loss of about 25%, missing their revenue and profit forecasts for the last quarter of 2012. Investors seem reassured that Groupon will thrive under the new management, even though there has been little to no proof of an actual change towards business operations. The company will file its first quarter performance on May 8th, and all eyes are now on Groupon as they try to thrive again. CBS confirmed over the weekend that their Twitter account has been hacked, and the suspects are coming as a bit of a surprise to some. While the actual perpetrator of the hijacking was unknown at first, many suspicions pointed to the Syrian Electronic Army, who was responsible for several Twitter break-ins of news media organizations, including accounts owned by the BBC, NPR, and Reuters. The Syrian Electronic Army has since taken credit for the hacks through a tweet on their own account. Though the attacks currently don't seem to be malicious towards the media outlets, the Syrian Electronic Army is using the accounts as a way to get their message out. Though some of the tweets are about American and NATO forces aiding terrorists, for the most part, the tweets are messages encouraging Americans to stand by the Syrian government in the increasingly violent civil war which broke out 2 years ago. Y Combinator's co-founder Paul Graham has taken a board seat on WotC, the Kickstarter for life-saving medical procedures. WotC has the honor of being the first nonprofit company accepted into Y Combinator's Startup Accelerator program. It's also the first company that Graham has agreed to advise as a board member. He described it as one of the more revolutionary services he's seen on the internet. Graham was moved when WotC co-founder Chase Adams described the Kickstarter-like service at Y Combinator's demo day. Adam explained a case where a 12-year-old girl in Nepal needed heart surgery that her family couldn't afford. The case was referred to WotC, and within days, 24 donors from around the world had signed up as sponsors, enabling her to receive the life-saving procedure. Unlike Kickstarter, WotC doesn't take a cut of the money donated, though it does accept tips. Over 300 websites are participating in a content blackout, but this initiative may not be in celebration of Earth Day. Many have joined this blackout protest to raise awareness about the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act. CISPA, which has already passed the U.S. House and is on its way to the Senate, is considered by many to be the digital equivalent of warrantless search and seizures. It allows the government to extract private information from the internet without first seeking authorization from a court. Protests to overreaching government regulation have a track record of success. In January of 2012, the internet blackout was used by more than 7,000 websites, including Wikipedia, Reddit, and Google, to protest the Stop Online Piracy Act and the Protect IP Act. Both SOPA and PIPA were shelved indefinitely following the much-publicized blackouts. The Girl Scouts of Greater Los Angeles have departed from their typical activities like camping or selling cookies and have created a new merit badge for designing video games. So far, the new badge only requires the girls use E-Line's GameStar mechanic software to design their games, so writing lines of code won't be necessary. Instead, in a partnership with Women in Games International, the Girl Scouts' goal is not to teach programming, but rather to get young girls excited in the technology and science. Specifically, they want girls to know that they too can have a career in the video game industry. This initiative follows shortly after the Boy Scouts of America revealed a similar merit badge program last month, and follows in line with President Obama's Women in STEM initiative. With all the support, expect to see girls across the country jumping into video game design. After all, acquiring the newest merit badge could make them the next internet mogul. And that's your SiliconANGLE Daily Roundup for Monday, April 22nd, 2013. For continuous coverage on tech innovation and daily breaking analysis, join us mornings beginning at 8:30 a.m. Central here at News Desk on SiliconANGLE TV. And happy Earth Day.